Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the coolest technology I've seen in a long time. I think it's going to be revolutionary for our generation, especially of coders, but of anybody else too who uses the internet or who knows how to type into a computer. So this new software is called ChatGPT. It's basically an AI trained chatbot that can do almost anything you ask it to do. Now, it was released in about November 30th of 2022, and it can do anything you want it to do. It can write you a story, it can do your math homework, it can generate text. And when I say generate text, I mean like it can generate essays based on a prompt. And this isn't it just picking up an essay off the internet like Google would. This is it actually generating you a fresh essay. So that's some of the ways this is different from Google search and why it's way more efficient. And it's like a real person. So you can ask it a question and then ask it a follow-up to that specific question. So where on Google you can go to Reddit and then ask a question there, and people who have had similar experiences can give you their advice. ChatGPT is trained on a bunch of different text, and it can respond like a chat of a real person. So let's go ahead and look at the website and see what ChatGPT can do. So here is the landing page of ChatGPT. It just lets you know what it is and what it does. And then after you make an account, you can try out ChatGPT and then it'll take you to this page. Now, it didn't always look like this. In fact, when I was first using it, I think like 2 weeks ago to make my own personal website, because I saw this and I was like, wow, this is going to allow me to code so much faster. It allowed you to do different things, but they're constantly updating it. It's still in the prototype version and it's not a paid service yet. So of course things are going to change and they might add ads. I don't know what they're going to do with it really. But yeah, I really suggest using it now before more roadblocks get added or before more things change, because right now it's still pretty useful if you're trying to write code or make a website or anything like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask it a question. Like I was saying before, it can write you a completely novel story. This is one of my favorite things to ask ChatGPT. If it can write me a story about hippos, I don't know why, but it just tickles me so much that it can write random stories. Yeah, so it can go ahead and write me a story about hippos. And this, again, is a completely novel story. This is it just reading other things on the internet and generating it based on my prompt. So you can see it gave the hippos names and things like that. Now, like I was saying, this can also solve your math homework. So let's say you're taking a computer theory class or a theory of computation class, and you want it to explain to you how to do a reduction from a 3-sat to, like, let's say a Hamilton path. So we can say something like, can you please show me a reduction from a 3-sat problem to a Hamilton path problem. Yeah, okay, and you can see it wrote us this hippo story. Now we're going to ask it about a math problem. And I believe that ChatGPT now actually has a query limit. So the number that you can send in per day is now restricted, and they ask you to do a survey or something like that. In the beginning, it didn't have this. So like I was saying, go ahead and use it now before there's more blocks like this or before it's a paid service. I'm probably going to pay for it when it is a paid service just because I like it so much. But if you're just wanting to see what it's like, I'd recommend going and trying it out now before more of these roadblocks are in place. Yeah, so you can see here that it's telling me exactly how to do this transformation or this reduction, mapping reduction, I should say, from a 3-sat problem to a Hamilton path problem. And you can see here it's actually showing me the graph and how it would construct that with the different clauses. So if you're not familiar with the 3-sat problem, it's basically like you have 3 literals and then you have a bunch of these clauses of 3 literals, and you want to give each of the literals, so like x1, x2, an assignment so that all of the clauses have at least one satisfying literal. So like in this case, we have x1. So if x1 equals 1, then this first clause is correct. Anyway, so you can see that it did all this. Now I can ask it, please combine your explanation with the story about hippos in an integrated way. Please make the story shorter. Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, this product, this technology keeps evolving. So it's natural to want to make predictions about where this is going to go in the future. Some things that I was seeing that I think that this is going to lead to is much easier and cheaper services of things like lawyers, accounting, anything like that. Because now instead of having to go and Google your answers, you can go and talk to a pseudo human that's trained on all of this information. So even though ChatGPT doesn't do things like history or politics, for example, like let's say someone in your family passes away and you need help with the will and there's a specific situation, maybe in the future you'll be able to use ChatGPT instead of going to a lawyer or instead of going to a lawyer's office to try to get that information. You can ask ChatGPT to help you out with this. So hopefully in the future, technology like this will make all care more affordable for people, and they can do things like hospital visits from their home. Yeah, this technology is pretty fantastic. I've been using it basically nonstop for 2 weeks since one of my friends showed it to me. So as you can see, it wrote me a story here incorporating hippos into my Hamilton path problem, which is pretty cool. Next, I just wanted to show you guys quickly that ChatGPT can also generate a lot of code, and it's going to make coding way, way faster. Because right now, coding, we'll go on Google, we'll ask it, hey, is there a library for this? How do I do this? I'm getting this error message. But with ChatGPT, you ask it those things, and it can give you the right answer a lot more quickly than Google can. So basically, ChatGPT is helping you find all those puzzle pieces to make your code work much faster. And it can also explain to you things that a junior developer might ask one of their mentors or a senior developer. So this will mean me bugging my seniors less, or maybe in the future, if I have an intern, that intern will be able to solve their own problems without asking senior developers, which will be really cool and probably really help with efficiency in the future. So like I was saying, let's go ahead and ask it to generate us a web page. Yeah, so ChatGPT is going to go ahead and make me some kind of index.html file, and then I used to be able to give it back the file and ask it to style it for me, but then ChatGPT stopped accepting HTML. I'm not sure if it does anymore, but I just wanted to show you guys how it can generate this code by itself. Now, I was trying to get one of my friends to use this amazing technology because it just makes you work so much faster. But his response was, I can just use Stack Overflow. And while Stack Overflow is great, it's not interactive like this. And Stack Overflow, there's times where you scroll through 10 different threads trying to find your error message, and then you go to the documentation and that doesn't work. ChatGPT, I've found, is usually much faster than that, and it can tell you why exactly you're getting that error and give you steps, and you can say, none of those steps worked, and then it'll give you more things to try, because sometimes maybe you just need to clean your cache, especially for stuff like NPM. Yeah, but anyway, you can see here that it generated this HTML page, so I can just copy that text, go ahead and stick it here, save, and then we can see the web page that it generated us right here. Great. And now let's see if they changed it back so it accepts HTML again. If they did not, we're just gonna see that. Last time I tried to film this, they didn't accept HTML, so I stopped filming, but we're just gonna go ahead and take a look at it. Yeah, and you'll see all kinds of people online right now. You can train ChatGPT to do what you want it to do. So like, let's say it doesn't want to give me a CSS file for this page. I can ask it in a different way, or I can like put my request in different, ooh, hey, it works again. Isn't that great? I can put my request in different writing. So basically just convincing it to do what I want it to do. And now in addition to this, I just asked it to like generate me a random CSS file for this page. We could go ahead and look at this, but you can also ask it like, hey, can you add a section? You can ask it things like that, or you could also ask it, oh, it's still going. You could also ask it to make your CSS page a little bit more bright or a little bit more zen or a little bit more rustic, and it can go ahead and do all of that for you. So if you get any value from this video, if you have any takeaways, I would say the one takeaway is use ChatGPT now and learn how to use it well, because it's going to 10x your productivity in anything you do in the future. Because instead of Googling now, which 10x'd in the past, now you're going to have ChatGPT, which is an interactive Google basically trained with AI. to respond to you like a real human. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks.